Welcome to the broadcast. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Yulanzale. Now, on the eve of the start of the hearing on the Finance Act 2023 case by a three-judge bench, President William Ruto has defended the increase in taxes, saying it was the only option to get the country from the yoke of foreign debt. Speaking in Nyeri, the president called on Kenyans to tighten their belts and support his administration's economic recovery plan. And we begin our broadcast with our very own Stephen Leto.
This is the first time since his election in August last year that President Ruto is in Sagana State Lodge. And today, President Ruto opened the gates for the locals to join in interdenominational prayers as he continued with his 5-day tour of the Mount Kenya region. It is during the Thanksgiving service that President William Ruto sought to calm the jitters in Mount Kenya over the new taxes.
We are building our country on the solid foundation of our economy built around the taxes we raise. Mnajua mzee Kibaki, wakati alichukua usukani kama rais, tulikuwa tunakusanya bilioni 200 kama taifa. Akatuambia tulipe ushuru. Nyinyi mlisikia, nyinyi mnajua.
The president added that the country was slowly getting back on track in terms of the economy.
We have stabilized the economy of the Republic of Kenya. Tumehakikisha kwamba mambo ya kukopa madeni kulia, kushoto, mbele na nyuma na juu na chini tumekomesha.
The president stating that the debt burden must be lowered if the country is to realize economic recovery.
We must build this country on the solid foundation, not on the foundation of debt.
Kongole kwa kuteremsha bei ya mbolea kutoka shilingi 6,700 sasa iko 2,500.
The president reiterated that his government will not allow violent protests to claw back the gains made so far.
There is no opposition, there is no government on matters of violence. We must all stand on the same side because it undermines who we are.
Mount Kenya governors lauded the president for allocating funds to projects in the region.
Sisi tumeona maslahi yetu umeangalia. Biashara zetu umetuangalia. Hali yetu ya ukulima, your excellency, umetuangalia.
Tukiangalia vile umeandamana na sisi so far, starting with the deputy president, tukiangalia kwa ile meza sasa unaona mawaziri, tukianza kukunja hivi I think you have done a wonderful job.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on his part used the opportunity to welcome the president to Sagana State Lodge that sits in his home constituency of Mathira.
Sitaki hata siku moja nione mtu hapa kwa gate kama rais hajaita sisi. Sisi ni watu ya heshima. Sisi tutakuwa na heshima sana. Kama sasa tutakuwa na viongozi hapa siku ya Jumanne, nyinyi muendelee na kazi yenu. Siku rais akirudi anaitana. Anachinja hapana maskini.
The president's itinerary continues tomorrow in Tetu and Nyeri town constituencies. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV.
Now, at the same time, a three-judge bench of the High Court, led by Justice David Majanja, will from Monday set the ball rolling on the hearing and determination of petitions challenging the Finance Act 2023. The bench, which also has Justices Christine Meoli and Lawrence Mugambi, was constituted by Chief Justice Martha Koome after Justice Mogure Thande ruled that all the petitions against the Act raised substantial questions of law. We get more from our very own Ayub Abdir Kadir.
3 weeks after the bench was constituted by Chief Justice Martha Koome, the judges are expected to set the stage for the case, with parties appearing for mention on Monday. The Finance Act 2023 was challenged in court after it was assented to by President William Ruto, with petitioners among them Busia County Senator Okia Omtata arguing that the law was unconstitutional. The act billed as key for Kenya Kwanza administration in raising revenues for this financial year also faces challenges by other petitioners, including the Kenya Human Rights Commission, Katiba Institute, the Institute of Social Accountability, the Institute for Social Justice, Transparency International Kenya, and 4 other petitioners. They argue that the Finance Act 2023 violates Article 10 and 201 of the Constitution by imposing retrogressive tax measures which burden low-income earners excessively. According to them, the Act threatens the right to life and livelihood under Articles 26 and 43 of the Constitution. Further, they argue that since the petitions challenge both the entire Act and these specific provisions, the High Court can consider suspending the specific provisions whose implementation has an irreversible effect and cannot be refunded. The Court of Appeal lifted the High Court order stopping the implementation of the new law, pending the case after the government argued that the orders stopping the implementation of the Act had the effect of shutting down government operations. This week, the Kenya Revenue Authority announced that taxes due at the commencement of the new law on the 1st of July will be backdated. The Law Society of Kenya has filed a separate case challenging the constitutionality of the housing levy and terms the entire Act as a mockery of the law. According to LSK, there exists no rationale as to why the government would force its citizens to contribute to a mandatory scheme in a country where a majority of its citizens are already grappling with the harsh economic times due to the existence of multiple layers of taxes. Ayub Abdikadir, Citizen TV.
Now, at the same